So, there are a bunch of people on the internet that call themselves the Skeptic community. On the YouTubes, you all know who they are if you're familiar with them. Calling themselves skeptics. We're the skeptics. That's how they define themselves as a community. Now, I think I'm not alone in being rubbed the wrong way by that phrase, the skeptic community. Something about it just seems wrong, doesn't it? I mean, it seems wrong to me. Like, you're calling yourself a skeptic. That's how you identify yourself. I think I figured out why it bothers me so much. Skepticism is not and cannot be a vocation. Now, what's a vocation? It comes from the Latin for calling. Basically, the gist of a vocation is it's something that you feel like you're born to do, something that you identify yourself as. I mean, like for myself, I make my living in software, but I wouldn't introduce myself, hey, I'm Normie, I'm a software guy. Unless I was like at work or something, I would call myself, I'm Normie, I'm a dad, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a musician. Those are the things that I really feel like I was born to do, that I'm really good at and I'm really proud of. Vocation, it's all about the meaning of the whatever it is, the thing that you're doing. So some kid who works at McDonald's and then also on the side plays guitar in a rock band, he wouldn't identify himself as a McDonald's worker. He would identify himself as a guitar player, because that's what he really cares about. That's what he really is passionate about. Vocation. If you don't have a vocation in your life, you're going to have a very sad life. People long for a vocation. They long for meaning in their lives. Now, let's talk about skepticism and how that really can't be a vocation. So what is skepticism? It's basically, it basically means you're disproving bad ideas, disproving false evidence. Now, nothing wrong with that. It's not a vocation. I mean, it's just something that you do sometimes when it's needed. You might as well call yourself, I butter my bread every day. I don't call myself a bread butterer because it's not important enough to be identified as that. Skepticism as a vocation? Look, a vocation usually means you're doing something productive. You're building something up. You are building something, like you're creating something. That's what gives something meaning. Skepticism, all it is tearing things down. There's nothing wrong with tearing things down. But it's not a vocation. It's not important enough to be a vocation. And furthermore, skepticism is just a tool. It's just a tool, and it can be used rightly and it can be used wrongly, and you can apply it to anything, including things that you shouldn't really apply it to. Skepticism, you can turn up your skeptical dial all the way up to 11, and you can say, I don't believe in anything. I don't believe in, that I'm even not a brain in a vat. Or you can turn your skepticism dial all the way down for something else and say, I believe whatever that guy says. So, I find that most of these so-called skeptic community is not very skeptical of, like, say, the new atheists. They believe anything Christopher Hitchens says. Anything that Richard Dawkins says, they are just swallow it wholesale. Anything Sam Harris comes up, pops into his little head, they believe it. Oh, that's totally, Sam Harris is so smart. We believe him. He's a doctor. They're not skeptical of Sam Harris. They're not skeptical of people that they really enjoy. Which is, of course, totally natural, because no one is skeptical of everything. You can't be. I mean, it's impossible. You have to stand on something. You can't just digging and cutting away the ground even under your feet. That's fine that they aren't skeptical of the new atheists. No problem. But don't call yourself a skeptic. You know what it sounds like? It sounds a little bit arrogant. You're like, everyone else has beliefs, but we don't have any beliefs. We only believe in science. Well, there's your belief. You believe in science, Everyone has beliefs. Everyone has a priori beliefs. Just like everyone has to stand on something. It's literally impossible not to have beliefs. To have some things that you just take for granted. All right? So calling yourself a skeptic is sort of like calling yourself, it's saying that you are too good for, you're better than your normal humans. That you have some sort of special power that you don't need to have beliefs. The same thing is annoying when someone calls themselves logical. I mean, yeah, everyone wants to be logical, but no one is logical all the time. I mean, and also logic isn't always the best tool for the job. If you're trying to, trying to convince a girl to marry you, being logical isn't going to do it. Being illogical is. If you're trying to try something new, try something that's risky, logic won't get you there either. Neither will skepticism, for that matter, because these are tools that are used to stop bad ideas. But that's only one tool in your toolbox. If the carpenter only has one tool, then he's not a very good carpenter. And if you only have one tool in your toolbox, you're not going to be a very good person. You just aren't. You have to have more than one tool. So skepticism is not a vocation. No one should call themselves a skeptic for a living. That just sounds like a really sad thing to call yourself. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.